Hi guys, I know it's been a while. Happy New Year. It is now January 7th, 2026. I just hopped on here to kind of go over the CalTPA for PK through 3 specifically. I know there's a lot of CalTPAs. There's, some for the multiple subject that's been around forever, which is basically K through 8th. And then you have your single subject, which is for junior high school, because you're only teaching like one grade. So the new PK through 3 actually is very new. It was just approved March or April 2024, and I started in August 2025. Given it's a new year, so I'm currently right now in my last semester of my teacher preparation program, and I just wanted to give a little bit of advice and some pointers about the CalTPA and a little bit about how student teachers are being able to be prepared for it, and just student teaching in general, doing your practicum hours, having to take a leave from your job, or maybe you're not working, you literally are just doing your hours to get them done. So my experience so far has been good, except I am not really a fan of the CalTPA. That given, I had done my CalTPA. I feel like it was a little bit rushed, but that's just the program. I opted to do a 1-year program to get it done, but I was placed a little bit late. I was placed in a preschool classroom, and I had 8 weeks to basically do 120 hours, because I didn't have to do the full 200 because I had experience before. When I had got my associate and bachelor's, I did a practicum, so those hours counted, which was good. But I had to hurry and gather all my evidence for this CalTPA, and it was a math performance assessment. So going back to my preschool placement, I was placed in preschool. I had to gather a bunch of evidence. So the first cycle is a math cycle, which is basically you plan, teach, assess, you reflect, and you apply. So there's these 5 things that you have to do, and it's a whole test for the state of California. And you're supposed to get, schools sometimes offer a CalTPA support class, which is what I got. And I feel like it was so-so because, like I said, I had 8 weeks to gather 3 students that I had to have them sign a release form that I can videotape them as we do little lessons, and that I'm going to be doing state assessment if I can please have the parents sign. Luckily I did, and one of them I got really last minute because it's hard to find a 3rd kid where the parent agreed to it, but luckily one of the dads was very graceful and was like, oh yeah, you can, it's fine. I'm like, thank you so much, it's for school. But luckily it worked out. I want to say, I think having pre-service teachers, especially those who don't have a lot of experience in the classroom, maybe they never really had to work in a classroom, or they worked very part-time and they didn't know how to manage classrooms or start a lesson or really dive into the why I'm teaching it, what I'm teaching, what are the kids learning, why am I doing it. And that's pretty much the whole assessment. But me, I had some experience with kids because I was a preschool teacher at a private Lutheran school, but you didn't need to have your credential. You only need to have your AA at that time. But going back to, that's why I decided to do my credential, because I want to teach at least kindergarten, maybe 1st grade. I want to teach older kids instead of just staying in preschool. But I want to talk about how the CalTPA could be a little bit, I don't want to say misleading, but a little bit vague, because they expect candidates all through the school. They're telling you, like, oh, don't be vague in your responses, be very clear, be very direct, be very specific about what you're planning, what you're teaching, why you're teaching it, what's the goal, meeting your kids' needs. And needs could be anything from emotional needs, it could be English language needs, it could be math needs, it could be special needs. Doesn't necessarily mean when we see needs, we don't automatically sometimes think, oh, special needs, but it doesn't necessarily mean special needs. It could mean a myriad of things. So I took my first CalTPA about 2 months ago, and then like 2 weeks ago I found out I didn't pass by 1 point. So if I would have got one more point, I would have passed it. And I was so upset. I mean, I didn't cry or anything, but I wanted to. But it's just, it goes to show how picky the state is. So every test, there's a rubric. There was like 8 rubrics. So it's a very extensive and long written test that has a bunch of prompts. And it's parts A through H. So all of these parts, so part A and B, these are all like pages that vary from anywhere from 5 pages to up to 10 pages. So you're writing like almost like a 30-page document of all these things, and you have to show the state what you planned, why you planned it. So like I said, it was like plan, teach, assess, reflect, and apply. So you're showing them in a 15-minute video TPEs that you're expected to hit and target. So basically like teaching performance expectations, that's what TPE is. You're showing the state, okay, I picked, let's just say sorting and counting, and I picked cubes, and there's stacking cubes. So let's say I'm going to pick 2 green stacking cubes. I'm going to count 1, 2, and I'm going to put my 2 cubes on this number mat, and I match it to number 2. So if I have 2 cubes, what number am I going to put it on? I'm going to put on number 2. So I'm trying to get the kids engaged, showing them they're going to do it themselves, and then you're supposed to be assessing them, observing, but not necessarily always being quiet. There could be some pauses for the kids to kind of think, but yet you're going to want to jump in and be like, oh, can you show me, like, you know, why you did this, or what do you think comes next? And being very engaging with the kids, and I actually scored higher on that video. So I didn't have to redo all my video and all my rubrics when I resubmitted it. I only had to do a couple, and even the school was like, it was just 1 point. So she went over with me what to fix. So I feel a lot better now, hopefully. And I think I have like 3.5 weeks that I found out that I'll pass it. But it just goes to show how very nitpicky the state could be. So if you are getting ready to submit your cycle or will be submitting it, the best advice I could give you is read the prompts. Like every prompt, before you start writing, just go over the prompts, read them, go over your rubric. Specifically, read the rubrics, what the state's looking for, and follow that to a T. And sometimes even when you think you're done, have like someone, maybe if you have a classmate that can go over it with you, or ask. Sometimes professors don't always have the time, but even ask them if you can try to look over it with you, they can. Going back to that, I feel like I had a preparation course to try to help, but I think the teacher had a lot going on too. She was a good teacher, but it's just, you know, I had rubrics that I needed to submit because I was like coming down to the wire the week before it was supposed to be submitted. I'm like, I had assignments that were not graded from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm like, can you please look at the last 2 templates? And that's actually where I got docked on the last 2, because I was like, I think it's information, it should be good. Like, I thought it was fine. And the teacher was like, oh yeah, I think everything's good to submit. I looked over it, you know, good luck, hope it goes well. But I feel like sometimes the preparation courses, I'm not specifically talking about the teacher I had, but like just in general, the preparation courses are there to try to help to support you, but yet the teachers could be like, oh yeah, we're here to support you, but we can't really tell you what to write or like mention certain things to write. It has to be all your own writing, not using AI, not using, you know, whatever. Even though some candidates do, they kind of use, oh, let me have AI rewrite my paragraph and then I'll put in my own words to like tweak it. I wouldn't suggest doing that, because I know it's run through like the Turnitin or like one of those, they check it, it will be checked, because when you turn in any essay for high school and college, it's checked through a generator, whether you use IA or there's cheating. So I would just steer clear of IA for that. Just use your own words and what you did. But I feel like sometimes the teacher preparation courses are, they're kind of there to help you, but it didn't really help me all that much because I felt like I was just kind of doing it on my own, alone. But yet when we met up every week for 8 weeks only for like an hour and a half, it wasn't really like you're getting a lot of other people's ideas with yours to go over and be like, oh, maybe we can change this or change that. It was more like, okay, a lecture and then I'll put you in groups for like 10 or 15 minutes, but it wasn't like, oh, let's read each other's thing and go over it. It was more just like, oh, what do you think? How do you think the video went? Or what did you do? Or what was your plan about? But nothing really specific. So it's just really all up to you. I mean, it's your test, it's your plan. But it's as if cycle 1 was enough, there's another cycle I have to do. Hopefully I pass that one, but it's a language performance assessment, and that will be anything K through 3rd. I'm hoping I'll get kindergarten or 1st grade, but I find out in a couple weeks where I get placed. But as this is my last semester for the program, so I just want to pop on and let you guys know kind of what to expect. You'll have that math cycle. They're looking for how you teach. All of your narratives, your reflections have to be strong. What you did and applied, what you learned, make sure it's very strong. If you think it's good, go over it again. Make sure, add details, and just be as clear as you can, because you know, you don't know what assessor is going to be grading it, how hard they're going to be or not be. You can only hope that everything will go well, and just remember, if you don't pass it the first time, you can try again. It's okay. I've met other teachers who are really great teachers, and they're like, oh yeah, like the CBES I had to retake because I missed by 1 or 2 points, or the CalTPA, like myself, 1 point away. The same thing. There's teachers who didn't pass the first time and they pass it the second time. It's, you know, it's hard to take at first, but you know, you learn from it and you'll grow from it. But you'll be fine. You'll learn from what you need to fix and not fix. If you don't, like, you can look over and have like a coordinator from your teacher program look over it like I did. So just wanted to wish you all Happy New Year and give you a little tips and tricks for that CalTPA for PK-3, and I hope everything goes well. Bye.